Hello everyone, I hope you are happy and healthy. Today we are back with another CSAT 2023 PYQ analysis. All the points we discussed in the previous class apply now. The topic we are seeing is, especially they have increased much more, is called statements. There are at least 7 to 8 problems based on statements itself. Now, you see the approach of what was UPSC thinking by giving statements. It is they can check, normally in a question they can check either quantitative aptitude or logical reasoning, but in statement questions it gives you much more freedom to check the concepts of students more deeply. And one more advantage of statements questions is, especially those questions which ask you how many statements required to solve a problem, you need not solve the problem. You need not solve, because you see, if there are two variables x and y, what do you need to know their values? You need two equations. So if you get two equations, no need of finding their values. If you get two equations, it means that you will get to know their values. So one more advantage of statement type is you need not solve. And as we go through, you will know, we will follow this approach, same the approach last time. There will always be an attack point and we will rely on basics and patterns when the question demands as such. Now let's start. This is statement questions. 39th is a statement question. That's my clear this. Now pause and read the question. Consider the following, including the question and the statement. There are 5 members in the family. Okay. The question is, what is the relation of E to B? So we need to find the relation between E to B. Now, he has given a set of statements. Especially when there are more statements or in questions such as matrix, please follow this technique. In matrix arrangement or linear or circular arrangement, where there are more number of statements, always don't start from the first and go on. First, always find those extrovert statements. What do you mean? What I mean by extrovert statements is those statements which link with other statements. You making them as a starting point will reduce your difficulty by many folds, difficulty of solving the question many folds. Now, let's see this here. Now, first statement is A to B, D and C is related, E and D is related, A and C is related. So, consider these two statements. Take this as a starting point, you will see how easy it happens. Okay. Now, A and C are sisters. So, represent that. A and C are sisters. Since we know the sex too, minus represents female. A and C are sisters and D is the father of C. So, D is the father of C. So, this is plus. Next, since this is done, E is D's son. So, we also have E as D's son. So, D's son is the father of C. Done. A and C are sisters. Next, E is D's son. So, this is also done. Now, statement 1. A and B are married couple. So, A and B are married couple. So, A is already female. So, B is male. Now, what is a question asked? What is the relation E to B. It is nothing but brother-in-law. And it is okay even if you if you don't find it, because you need all the 4 statements, all these relationships to arrive at this. So, statement 1, all 4 statements are sufficient to answer the question. This is the answer. Okay. No, this is the answer. All 4 statements together are sufficient to answer the question. Is it difficult? Especially if you solve from the extrovert points? No. So, this is easy. Next is 56. Now, here to answer this question, is P greater than Q? It is telling P and Q is greater than. So, he has given us 2 statements. P and Q, if P and Q is greater than 0, can we tell is P greater than Q or otherwise? If these 2 statements lead to this statement being true or it being false, both will answer the question. So, don't have the idea that it should always be true. Either if it proves false, then also it all answers the question. Now, is P greater than Q? What do you do for statements like this is, based on your statements, you should get a particular product. It should answer the question. So, we will take 2 cases, 2 different cases. If it proves that P is greater than Q, then the statement stands, otherwise it does not stand. For example, is P greater than Q? No. P into Q is greater than 0. So, take any example. 2 into 3 is 6. Take otherwise, 3 into 2 is 6. Okay. This proves that P is greater than Q. Now, take minus 3 into minus 2. Here also P and Q is greater than 0. The positive result is 6, but here it is the opposite case. Q is greater than minus 2 is greater than minus 3. So, we are not able to conclusively prove this. Since 2 conclusions exist from a same statement, this is not valid. Next, P square is greater than Q square. Okay. Same, take the same. 3 square obviously greater than 2 square. Yes. If it is greater than, this proves the point that P is greater than Q. Now, go the same here. Minus 3 whole square should be greater than minus 2 whole square. Yes, it is. So, your statement is getting proven, but is the conclusion getting proven? No. Still, minus is greater than, that is Q is greater than P. So, in one case it is proving it right, in another case the conclusion is wrong. So, we cannot arrive at the conclusion. So, both the statements, the question cannot be answered even by using both the statements together. Clean. Okay. This is also an easy question. See, all statement questions are based on basic principles only. No need to solve. This is just instance, because there is no case where we apply a property or application here. That's why I had to take some examples here. Next, in the statements is this is 56, 57. No. Now, here you will realize the point that I made in the first. If possible, wherever you are able to do it with the help of equations or properties, prefer this instead of giving examples or taking specific numbers, because in that case it may be wrong. You can't keep on checking all cases until there might be one case which is out of your thinking capacity, where it may not prove so. So it is always feasible and always suggested that if it is possible, take the help of equations or properties while solving questions like this. Now, let's move forward. Is P plus Q minus R, greater than P minus Q plus R? Now see, you take 3 variables. The equation has 3 variables and 2 calculations. You need to do calculation 2 times. For each set of variables, you are at least spending 30 seconds there. Even if you see 3, there is no guarantee that they stick to the pattern. You may get all correct ones, but there might be the 4th one which is wrong. So this process of putting in specific numericals or example is always dangerous. I am not telling you should never do it, but if there is no chance, go for it. But if there is a chance, always prefer either properties or equations. Now, statement 1 telling that P minus Q is positive. So, which means P is greater than Q. Okay? Now, next, P minus R is negative. So, no matter either you take positive values or negative values, this implies R being greater than P. So, in conclusion you will get R, P and Q. Okay. Now, and this is that statement type. Which of the following is correct with respect to the question above? The question can be answer type. This is the question can be answer type. Either it tells us it is true or it tells us it is false. Both answer the question, whether this is greater or it is lesser. If it answers, there is certainty, tick, it answers the question. If there is no certainty, leave it. Now, how do you do this? Normally from here people take examples and do. No. Solve the equation wise only. If P plus Q minus R must be greater, what should be the difference? When suppose take this as X, take this as Y. When X is greater than Y, what should happen? X minus Y should be greater than 0. Right? Use the same thing here. P plus Q minus R minus P plus Q minus R. So, 2 P's got cancelled, 2Q minus 2R should be greater than 0 or positive. So, 2 into Q minus R should be greater than 0. So, and now if you include, the final relation is 2 into Q minus R should be greater than 0. If it proves this, then it answers. Now, see the first statement. First statement just gives us a relationship between P and Q. So, it does not answer this, because here we need the relation between Q and R. So, first statement alone does not cut it. Second statement, it gives the relationship between R and P, but what we needed was Q and R. So, second statement by itself it doesn't answer the question. But if you combine both, what do you get is this, the relationship between R and Q, and this proves it wrong because always R is greater than Q. Okay, since this is answering the question, this can never be greater. The answer is see, the question can be answered by using both the statements together, but cannot be answered by using either statement alone. Okay, no, don't get confused by this answer. It is answering by proving it is false. If it answers either true or false, that means it has answered the question. So C. Same. If you do by, see, the advantage here is if you do by equations, it becomes easy. Instead of you plugging those, now you understand why I prefer equations, or I tell you to prefer equations or properties, because solving is easy and it is applicable for a universal case. So always prefer either quotients or either equations or properties. Now next question is, next properties statement question is 58. Okay, clean. Now in a party, say 75 persons took tea, 60 persons took coffee, and 50 persons took both tea and coffee. Okay, good. No one taking milk takes tea. Okay, this is a 3-set Venn diagram. Okay, got this. Next, each person takes at least one drink. So it tells us null is equals to 0. Good. Now, how many persons attended the party? So, set theory, you know this is A, this is B. The union, he is asking how many persons attended the party, that is the union. What is the formula for union? A union B is equals to A plus B minus of A intersection B. Okay. So, to know the whole, what you need to do? Either you know the whole values of set and you know the value of intersection part 2. This is nothing but intersection part. One way to see this is, this is one part, this is one part, and this is another part. Another way to know the union, I think I will change to some other color. Yes. To change the, to know the union is know only parts. Here you know whole set A, that means here you are not taking people who drink milk only A, you are also considering the common part of B here, but here we are only considering people who do activity A or people belonging to this specific part. Or let us consider this A bar plus B bar. B bar represents this people. Okay, this might be confusing. I will here. This represents A bar and this represents intersection of A intersection B. So this is just I am explaining to you the concept. For knowing total number of people or union, either you should know the full part like here and the intersection part like here, or know the intersection part, know only the specific part like A dash and the intersection part. Okay. Now see, Let us see what has he given. He has given us 3 sets. 75 people took tea. Okay, this is 75 who took tea, and 60 persons took coffee. So this is 60 persons who took coffee, and 15 persons took both. So this intersection part is 15 persons. So these are people who took only tea is 60, and who took only coffee is 45. Okay. Now, no one taking milk takes tea. So he is telling us that this intersection is not there. So they might take coffee. They haven't told about it. So this is milk, and one person takes at least one of the drink. Now 50 persons took milk. So he has given that this whole, the quantity of this. Now what did I tell you? To find out the union value, either you should know the whole and the intersection. That was my last 5 minutes, that was the point of my last 5 minutes explanation. But what has he given? He has given us the whole part, but not how many people drink both coffee and milk, because we don't know this. He has given only this part. Since we never know this, we can't find the union based on this fact alone. So this doesn't help at all. Now the number of persons who attended the party is 5 times the number of persons who took milk only. Now that case, he has given us this part. Now look here, we know this value, we know this whole value, this is 45. The second case, either you should know people who took only one drink, or you should know the total one. Here we know this part, people who took only tea, which is 60. We know this intersection, this part, people who took full coffee, and we know people who took this milk too. So statement 2 will help us get union. If you don't believe, I generally don't prefer to calculate, but let's calculate, because your answer, you will get the answer just by doing this. No, but if someone wants the proof of this, let's see. I am erasing this. What he has given is this and this. This is 60, this is 15, this whole is 45, and number of persons who attended the party is 5 times the number of persons who took only milk. So only milk, this part is x. Now the union is 60 plus 15 plus 45 is equals to 5x. You can easily solve x because there is one variable in this equation. So solve it. Sixty plus this is 60 is equals to 4x. So x is equals to 30. You are knowing x, the number of people is 150. Need not even calculate it. When you know that the previous concept I have explained, always for union, for knowing union, there are only 2 ways. Either you know people who took only milk, only coffee, this, or you know people who took whole coffee and people who took both. Okay, you need not even solve here, because I did this just for your satisfaction. But the question actually got ended the previous step itself. Okay. This is the advantage of statement type questions. You need not even solve the question. If you know the properties or principles, basic principles, you can easily solve it. Now, the answer for this is the question, sorry. The question can be answered by using one of the statements alone, but cannot be answered using the other statement alone. So, answer A. Now, next in the statements type, 58, this is same. One more statement type and you will see the same principle. If you are able to solve, you need not even solve statement type questions, because if you are able to go by the principle, that is enough. Now, this proves one more example. What is a number? Okay. He needs to know what a number is. The sum of the digits of the number is equals to the product of the digits. It is only possible if your digits are 1, 2, 3. Same this thing again. Know the pattern, know this. 1, 2, 3. The sum of the digits of the number is equals to the product of the digits. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. 1 into 2 into 3 is 6. Okay. Now, he is asking, will you get this statement by this number? Because any combination of 1, 2, 3, you see, 1, 2, 3. How many these things can be made? Probabilities. There are 3 ways you fill this position, 2 ways you fill this position, 1 way you fill this position, 6. So, 1, 1, 3, 2. Next, fix 2 here. This is 3, 1 or 1, 3, 2. Now, fix 3 here, 1, 2 or 2, 1. So, these are the possible combinations. So, this statement, all these statements, all these numbers satisfy the statement 1. So, it is not giving us a unique number. So, this is done. Next, the number is divisible by sum of the digits. So, the sum of the digits is 6. So, the number is divisible by sum of the digits of the number. So, we need to see divisibility by 6. What is the rule for divisibility by 6? It should be divisible by 2 and 3. For 2, you need unit digit to be even. So, this does not apply, this does not apply, this does not apply, this does not apply. And so, we get 2 numbers 132 and 312. And since we know the sum of digits is equal in the same case, these are already divisible by 3. Still, we are not getting a unique number. We have 2 variations, 2 probabilities, either 312 or 132. So, the answer is, the question can be answered by using one of the statements alone. No, none of the statement. It is the question can be answered, cannot be answered by using both the statements together, because we are unable to find a unique product. Okay. Good. Next. Next statement type question is 60. Okay. Now, statements on the danger of being repetitive. If follows, if you could use equations or principles, do it. And statements give you an added advantage of not solving a problem. If that is available, take it. Now, let us see here. 5 children with ages, okay. He has told us that A, B, C, D, okay. Any two successive ages by 2 years, okay. And he gave us the successive these two, okay. 2 years, 2 years, 2 years, 2 years. Now, the age of eldest is 3 times the youngest. Now, he gave you an equation. Now, see, can everything, see whether everything can be converted in the form of only one variable. Suppose, let us take A, B is equals to A plus 2, C is B plus 2, which is nothing but C is equals to A plus 4, D is C plus 2, which is nothing but A plus 6, E is nothing but D plus 2, which is nothing but A plus 8. So, in order to find everything, what you need to find? The value of A. One equation is sufficient to answer this question. You need not even look further. Let us see statements. The age of the eldest is 3 times the youngest. So, eldest, he has given here, what is the only one variable present? Only one variable, which is A. He has given the eldest, A plus 8 is equals to 3 times A. Can you solve this equation and know the answer? Yes, definitely. So, we can find out from this. Now, the average of age of the children is 8 years. You need not even go further. Since we know 5 children are there, okay, and common difference of 2. Remember the AP concept. 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. What is the average of this? It is always the middle digit. Yes? Yes, it is. If you don't believe, check. 2 plus 4, 6, 6 plus 6, 12. Here it is 12 plus 8, 20, 20 plus 10, 30. 30 by 5, which is 6. So, this is the average. Always the middle digit is average when the common difference is same. So, what has he given? He has given this is 8 years. And you know the value from here. You know any one of the digit, you can know the value of A. Okay? So, when you know this is 8, when A plus 4 is 8, what will be A? This is 4. You need not even solve, just from the equations itself, because once I have framed this equation, it is done here, there. So, this could also be solved. So, what is the age of youngest child? In both cases, we are able to find out the value of A. Is it? Yes. So, the answer will be, see how easy it is. You need not even solve. Just frame the equation in, just give it an equation form, you will obviously know. The statement can be answered by, the question can be answered by using either statement alone. Easy. So, UPSC giving you, I know many people feel that statement questions are, because they are unfamiliar with them, thinking statement questions are difficult. No, statement questions are a gift given by UPSC to you. You can easily solve them even without, you can easily answer the question without solving them. So, always take advantage of that. Now, next statement question is 59. Okay. So, statement questions end here. So, what are the takeaways from this thing today? 1. Statement questions are to your advantage only, and you have seen that I need not even go on solving the question. If I frame it in terms of equations, it is done there itself. So, statement questions are for your advantage. So, use them. Don't be fearful of them. And next, if possible, always go by equations or properties. It doesn't mean you never use those specific type, because I too have used. If it is not possible, then only this is just a preference order, then only use specific examples. And in questions where you have many more statements, for example, that relationship problems, blood relations or arrangement, linear or circular, always it is always a good point to start from extrovert points. Extrovert points are those which have a common linking between them. Instead of starting categorically or systematically 1, 2, 3 onwards, stop and look for those extrovert points, and solution becomes much more easier. And if you have seen, I have addressed almost 8 to 9 questions. All are under a minute. No complex phenomena required. And in the last number systems, we solved at least 12 questions. See, 20 questions which are under a minute. So, less than half an hour, you are almost near the qualifying zone. CSAT is easy. It is just because the environment says that it is difficult. No. If you sit and analyze, and if you follow the proper way, seeing through attack points, seeing through basic principles, and seeing through these extrovert points, it is easy. And nowhere I have applied a complex phenomena or complex topic. Anywhere patterns, same point, attack points, patterns and basic principles only. So, I hope I have at least convinced some of you that CSAT is easy. But for you to be in this state, you need to consider it seriously. You need to give it as seriousness as you give to GS. I hope I have inculcated at least in some of you, a happiness towards solving the CSAT questions, and that matters more, because if you are happy, you will be able to find those patterns instead of thinking them difficult. See you with another important session.